Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something we all have in common, our daily routine. From the moment you open your eyes in the morning to when your head hits the pillow at night. In this explainer, you're going to learn exactly how to talk about your day in English. But hey, before we get started, if you could just take a quick moment to subscribe, turn on that notification bell, give this explainer a like, and maybe leave a comment. That would be amazing. It really, really helps us out. Okay, are you ready? Let's do this. We're going to build your confidence by learning all the key words and phrases you need to describe your day from beginning to end. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll start with the basics, your daily vocabulary. Then, we'll figure out how to add time so your sentences sound more specific. After that, we're going to put it all together to describe a whole day, listen to a few real English conversations, and then, you guessed it, it's going to be your turn to practice. All right, let's jump right into our first section, your daily vocabulary. Think of these words as the building blocks for your day. These are the absolute essentials you're going to use all the time. First up, the very beginning of the day, wake up. This is that moment, when you stop sleeping and your eyes open. Maybe it's an alarm clock, maybe it's the sun. For example, you could say, my alarm rings and I wake up. Simple, right? Okay. Now, this next one is super important. Get up. There's a little difference here that catches a lot of people. You might wake up at 7, but maybe you stay in bed for another 10 minutes, scrolling on your phone. Getting up is when you actually physically leave the bed. So always remember the order. First, you wake up, and then you get up. Okay. Here we have a bunch of the most common daily activities. Let's go through them together. I want you to listen and then try saying them after me. Ready? Take a shower. Brush my teeth. Have breakfast. And a little tip here. We almost always say have breakfast, which sounds a bit more natural than eat breakfast. Next, go to school or go to work. Have lunch. Come home. Have dinner. And to finish the day, go to bed. So, how do we actually use these phrases? Well, take a look at this sentence. It's simple, it's clear, it's perfect. You've got the person, I, you've got the action, wake up, and you've got the time, at 7 o'clock. This is the basic structure, the recipe we're going to be using. Knowing the right words for actions is fantastic, but if you can say when you do them, your English is going to sound so much better, so much more detailed. So, our next step is learning how to talk about time. Let's look at some super useful time expressions. Now, for the big parts of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, we use the little word in. Listen to how that sounds. In the morning, in the afternoon. But for specific times on the clock and for night, we use at. So we say at 7:30, at noon, which is 12 p.m., and at night. Let's see this in action. I study in the afternoon. It's a great sentence. It tells us the activity, studying, and the general time of day. But what if you wanted to be more specific? Well, you could also say, I study at 3 o'clock. See, you can use both. It just depends on how much detail you want to give. Okay, so we've got the words for the actions and we've got the expressions for the time. You know what that means? It's time to put it all together. Let's build a little story and describe a full day from start to finish. Let's start our story with the morning. We can describe the order of things like this. Every day, I wake up at 6:30. I get up and brush my teeth. Now, see that little word then? It's so useful for connecting our actions. Then I take a shower and have breakfast at 7. Moving on to the afternoon, a great way to continue our story is with the phrase after that. It connects the morning to what comes next. After that, I go to work. I work until 1. That word until is fantastic, isn't it? It tells us when an activity stops. And then have lunch. In the afternoon, I finish my work and go home. And finally, we end our day in the evening. This is usually when we relax. We can list a few things using the word and, like this. In the evening, I relax, watch TV, and talk with my family. And the last action of the day, I go to bed at 10:30. And there you have it, a full day described perfectly. So it's great to be able to describe your day, but how do you ask someone about their day or answer their questions? In this next part, we're going to see how all these words are used in natural, everyday conversations. Let's listen in on Alex and Nina. Alex asks a really direct question. What time do you wake up? And Nina gives a simple, perfect answer. I wake up at 7 o'clock. Then Alex asks a yes or no question. Do you have breakfast at home? Nina's response is short and sweet. Yes, I do. See, super simple and very, very common. Let's check out another one, this time with Maria and Ella. This conversation feels a little more personal, right? Maria asks, when do you go to bed? Ella replies, I go to bed at 10. But then Maria adds a little comment, an opinion. That's early. That's what makes the conversation feel real. And Ella agrees, explaining why. Yes, I like sleeping early. All right, you've seen the vocabulary, you've seen the time expressions, and you've seen the conversations. Now, for the most important part of all, it's your turn. I'm going to give you a few sentences, and I want you to finish them with information about your day. Really try to say the full sentence out loud. Let's try the first one. I wake up at... Go ahead. Think about your own routine and say the full sentence now. I'll give you a moment. Great job. For instance, maybe you said, I wake up at 6:45. Okay, next one. I go to school/work at. When do you start your day? Think about it and say your answer out loud. Ready? Awesome. You might have said something like, I go to work at 8:30. And one last practice for today. In the evening, what do you do? Try to use some of the words we learned today. I'll give you a little longer this time. Perfect. You could say, in the evening, I watch TV, or maybe, in the evening, I relax and read a book. It's your routine, your story. You did great. And before we finish, here's a final little question for you to think about. Let's go a little deeper than just the routine. What is the best part of your day? Is it that first cup of coffee in the morning? Is it coming home after a long day? Or maybe it's talking with your family in the evening. Thinking about this really helps you connect English to your own life and your own feelings. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, and leave a comment to support the channel.